In Cormier's Tunes for Bears to Dance to, the reader is immersed in the scrutiny of a dysfunctional family with a young boy named Henry at its core. At the tender age of 11, Henry has already experienced profound tragedy. The story begins with Henry grieving the loss of his older brother, a sorrow that has sent his father spiraling into depression. To make ends meet, his mother takes on waitressing jobs to support the family. Henry himself is accustomed to hard work, having taken up employment at a local grocery store until an unfortunate leg injury forced him to cease working, placing even greater reliance on his mother's income for survival. Given the circumstances, it is somewhat understandable that Henry's father has succumbed to despair, considering his son's life was taken by a hit-and-run driver. As time passes, the weight of Eddie's memory becomes too much for Henry and takes its toll on the entire family. Consequently, they make the decision to relocate to a new town. In this unfamiliar place, Henry forms a friendship with Mr. Levine, a Holocaust survivor. Mr. Levine possesses a small replica of his hometown before it was ravaged by the Nazis. Upon its completion, the artwork earns Levine an award, which is to be showcased prominently for the entire town to see. It is during this period that Henry expresses his desire to purchase a headstone for his brother's grave. Enter Mr. Hairston, the owner of the local supermarket, whom Henry encounters in his pursuit of a job to fund the headstone. Initially, Hairston appears kind, willing to provide Henry with employment. However, it soon becomes apparent that Hairston's goodwill is accompanied by ulterior motives. As the story unfolds, the reader witnesses Hairston's true colors, as he spews cruel remarks about the customers, belittling and mocking them based on their origins and physical flaws. Hairston embodies evil incarnate, serving as a personification of the tragic experiences Henry has endured in his young life. In contrast to Henry's limited understanding of Hairston's malevolence, the reader delves deeper into the character's despicable treatment of his own family. It becomes evident that Hairston is abusive towards his wife and children, deriving pleasure from their suffering. Though Henry may not fully grasp the extent of Hairston's malicious behavior, Cormier ensures that the reader picks up on these distressing details. The culmination of Hairston's treachery occurs when he blackmails young Henry, offering to let him keep his job in exchange for the destruction of Mr. Levine's meticulously crafted model village. To further amplify the gravity of the situation, Hairston reveals his connections within the school's principal's office and Henry's mother's workplace. If Henry refuses to comply with Hairston's demands, he threatens to have Henry's mother fired and tarnish his reputation at school. On the other hand, if Henry acquiesces, Hairston promises to secure a promotion for Henry's mother along with a higher salary and allow Henry to retain his supermarket job. In an attempt to shield his family from the turmoil in which he finds himself, Henry decides not to confide in anyone about Hairston's ultimatum, believing that revealing the truth to his parents would only exacerbate the situation. Consequently, he resolves to confront the predicament alone. The decisive moment arrives, yet Henry remains indecisive. Seeking refuge in a storage closet at the art center where Levine's sculpture is exhibited, Henry brings a mallet with him as a contingency plan should he choose to carry out the abhorrent act. Fatigued, he inadvertently falls asleep in the closet, awakening to find the art center deserted. Standing in the room housing the sculpture, Henry raises the mallet above his head, poised to obliterate Levine's masterpiece. However, at the 11th hour, he has a change of heart. Just as the mallet hovers in the air, ready to descend, Henry's attention is drawn to the sound of a scurrying rodent nearby. Startled, he accidentally drops the tool, inadvertently shattering a portion of the sculpture. On his way home that evening, Henry unexpectedly encounters Mr. Hairston reappears, finally revealing his motive for wanting Levine's artwork destroyed: anti-Semitism. He dismissively comments that the damaged sculpture will give Levine something else to occupy his time, simply because he is Jewish. Henry expresses his disinterest in the rewards Hairston previously offered for completing the task, but the manipulative grocery owner insists that the reward is just as important as the act itself. This situation with Hairston serves as a vehicle for illustrating Henry's loss of innocence. Throughout the novel, Cormier skillfully weaves seeds of events that contribute to Henry's changing perspective on the world. From the tragic death of his brother to his father's descent into depression and encounters with Hairston, Cormier's narrative metaphorically portrays a series of unfortunate events that strip away a young person's innocence. As the story draws to a close, Henry has grown in self-assurance. He pays another visit to Mr. Levine, who remains unfazed by the damaged artwork, continuing his work on the village, despite the imperfections. The community assumes the damage was caused by troublemakers seeking to stir up trouble. Although Henry is unable to acquire a tombstone for his brother's grave, he places his brother's old baseball bat and ball as a marker instead. In this poignant manner, Cormier concludes the novel, which serves not only as a lesson in resilience and perseverance, but also as a thought-provoking exploration of the unexpected challenges that accompany the journey of growing up and how life's struggles can impact individuals indiscriminately. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.